Hello everyone, T-Man978. Right now we're going to be taking a look at Studio Series 86, I guess you could still call it. But it's just Studio Series, the Transformers, the movie, Bonecrusher. And let's just say this right up front. Bonecrusher is the figure you buy just to complete the set. This thing is kind of a mess. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a functional transformer or robot. It's posable and has basic posability. And it does the thing that it's supposed to do as far as transform. And the head sculpt looks nice, but body-wise, this doesn't look nearly as good as it could look. So yeah. On his back, he has this piece hanging off, which is his combiner part. I guess they did that. They made it shortened so that it could be less of a backpack. But you take this piece right here that has a 5mm port on both sides, to be honest. You slide it onto there very tightly. And yeah. But you could, honestly, since this is on a mushroom peg, just grab right here, and it's easier said than done, I guess. Pull that completely off. And now here's his back right here. Nice and clean. And you could still technically transform him without it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. But even though he's roughly about the same height and size of Scrapper back there, they went out of their way to make sure you know that this is a deluxe versus a Voyager by doing things like putting his shoulders on ball joints, putting the elbows on ball joints, making the forearm one solid piece. Yeah. But outside of that, and a few little waffly tiny areas, it's mostly filled in. He has this pistol right here, and let's zoom in on the face and then do articulation and comparisons. Here's the face, super duper cartoon accurate, actually filled in the back, unlike the Stunticons. Articulation. The head is on a panel right here that can look up like that. You can look down if you want to bend past this chest piece. Arm goes out to there, does this, elbow bends and rotates. Hips go out to here, hips go all the way forward, all the way back, thigh rotation, knee bend. This is neat the way they sculpted that. 90-degree bend. Maybe it's slightly above 90. Then he has ankle pivot right here. Very tight. But here's one annoying weird thing. He does technically have a waist joint, but the way this attaches, which barely attaches using this, it just doesn't look right. This shovel can come off. If they made the shovel actually peg into anything on the torso, it could still have the articulation, and you do get an ab crunch technically by like flipping this down here. So you can make him have an ab crunch if you want, but you just have to transform this panel. But like I was saying, if this could detach and connect up here, and you fold this stuff down, he could have waist rotation. But I guess they didn't want that to be the case. They didn't want that to be the thing. These designers have been designing Transformers forever. I would think they could come up with something a little bit better, but he does have details and some paint here or there. Let's put him next to the only other one I have so far. I see people have the Commander class 2-pack. I don't know how they have that because the dates are super far off for me. But as you can see, he might be a little bit taller than Scrapper. And yeah, like looking at this is like, wow, this one's a Voyager. Only thing it has going on more is like, I guess more color variation. It has the wheels that are pinned on. This doesn't have wheels at all, which is another weird thing to take away the play feature. But let's bring in Combiner Wars Bonecrusher, who has arms that reach past the hips. But this thing is a mess as well. Mainly this crotch area, keeping that shut is a nightmare, and this doesn't really tab in. Oh, let's show you that this has a longer combiner piece that hangs down below the butt. And since they weren't like super duper beholding to the cartoon, they changed some of the vehicle mode aesthetics. He has this little canopy right there with windows hanging off instead of this just cover right there. But their heads are pretty much identical. Here he is next to a deluxe aerial bot, so he is a little bit bigger. He just seems bigger, period. So it's crazy how this is still a deluxe. That's a Voyager. I don't know. It's like they just do whatever they want now. They just charge you whatever they want. But yeah, let's get to this transformation. I'm gonna take the gun out the hand. He would have double jointed elbows if this folded up the other way, but they want you to fold the arms back here, tab it together, and you can put it like this. So lift the arm up, rotate this, and bring that down. Get that shut together. Now we can shut the feet. Bring this down. You could basically now unhinge this like that. Bring this up, and this tab right here. Push that into the crotch. Now we could bring this away from there. Start bringing this up, but put the head in here. We can rotate this up so we can fold this down to get it more out of the way of this. And we could bring this in right here into place. Yeah, get that all the way into place right there. Same thing over here. Move that all the way in. Now we can shut this. Bring this up and bring this arm piece right here. We could bring this here and take the legs, swing it out. Now bring it in. There's a little peg right here that goes into the side of the legs, and pegs right here that goes into the connector piece, or the combiner arm, I mean. And now he is this construction shovel scooper thingy. It has no wheels, so it just slides. This is what your $25 gets you nowadays. Plug this here. It is nice that they put some silver bits there to make it not look like a neon block so much. They put the purple there, Decepticon logo. And yeah. And you know what? Let's just do the combine mode right now. We can pull this out. And there is a weird panel right here. This isn't in the instructions, but this is the only thing that makes sense. Bring that down. That connects to whatever it connects to on the full combiner. And I'm gonna, bring it that way. So this is the shoulder. It goes out like that. And I imagine the other piece connects on top of this and bends like that instead of this way. So it'll have the detail on the outside. But let's transform the other things I need to compare them to and come back. Comparisons. Here we are. Here it is next to you, Scrapper. Arm versus legs. It's funny they revealed, or they released both scooper things at the same time. This one can roll. This can roll. It has 2 wheels on the legs, and the combiner arm piece has a wheel on it. But that's what they look like. In this mode, they aren't too far off size-wise, which is crazy, because this is definitely a old school Voyager class compared to this. But you can see the change in the details that I was mentioning. This is like highlighter yellowy, while this is more greenish. Yeah, more details up here. I think the original G1 toy was more like this. Yeah, this mode is cool, except it doesn't have any like real seat details in there, and it doesn't have wheels, but it's mostly solid. You get this action right here if I didn't show that off. But anyhow, reverse transformation, pull that out. I'm gonna detach the legs, start rocking this forward a bit, move this out the way, move that out the way, but we can spin this back. I'm gonna go ahead and move the legs down like this to get them completely out the way. But do that, we can start bringing the arms back up like this, lift the head up, rotate this forward like that, bring this onto the back, lift this all the way back, can shut the ab crunch thingy, lift this, elongate all that, and lift this up so we can peg this into there, put that there. Rotate the arms down and spin the forearms around. Rotate that down, spin that around. Open up the feet, and he's a robot again. Anything else I can complain about? Like, this doesn't stay where it should stay, since it locks the whole body together and gives you the whole design. This right here, I wish this tabbed. But yeah, he is definitely not my favorite, and I hope Long Haul and Hook are better. But you definitely need him if you want the new Devastator. So there's that. Anywho, thank you for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Figure action. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should